We can now click on these and load them into the form, but once we have something in the form, we have no way to clear it back out and create a new note. That's probably what should happen when you click this thing, right? Let's do that. Let's make clicking the new note button clear out the form. So what does clearing out the form really mean? That's a UI detail, right? Sidebar doesn't know a darn thing about note form, and it doesn't have to. What sidebar is doing isn't really clearing out the form. What sidebar is doing is setting current note back to a blank note, which happens to clear out the form. But all sidebar needs to know is, I'm going to change the current note. And the form is already watching for what the current note is, and as soon as it changes, it's going to update its UI. So we need this sidebar button to set the current note back to a blank note. So we've got a blank note already up here. If we add more than just ID, title, and body, if we have a lot of fields, we're potentially going to have to start changing this in two places. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually make a method here in main called blank note. And instead of writing it this way, I'm going to make it an arrow function. So blank note equals arrow function. And it's just going to return that blank note object with a null ID and blank title and body. Then in the constructor, I'm going to initialize current note to, instead of actually putting the literal in there, this dot blank note, open close parens. Same thing, but now it's here so I can reuse this. Because what we said that sidebar button needs to do is set the current note back to a blank note. So the method that does that is going to have to live on main, right? I can't change main state from somewhere else. So I've got set current note here. Right after that, I'm going to put one called reset current note. Again, an arrow function. And all it's going to do is call set current note and set it to a blank note. So this dot set current note, this dot blank note, like that. This dot blank note returns an empty note. I pass that as the argument to this dot current note, and state gets updated. So I need to call reset current note from where? The sidebar. So here's sidebar, feeling lonely without any props. So let's pass in reset current note. That is this dot reset current note. Then in sidebar.js, we now have props coming in, but we can just extract that out of props using destructuring and call it reset current note. And that's what I want to call when I click what? This link right here. On click equal reset current note. Did that do it? Let's try clicking on one of these, then let's try clicking this. Okay, it cleared it out, but it also refreshed the page. Because this is actually a link that goes to /notes. Rather than make it not a link right now, we could try to fix it another way. What do you suppose the default behavior in the DOM is for clicking on a link? It's following the dang link, right? So we could use prevent default on that. So what if onClick is an arrow function, pass in the event. Oops. And it calls event prevent default, and then it calls reset current note. Explode adjacent JSX elements must be wrapped in an enclosing tag. I did something dumb somewhere. Oh, yeah, when I typed a second set of curly braces, it didn't want to double them up. There you go. Clears it out, does not refresh the page. Yay. Still can't type in here, but yay. Our new note button works. Clear the form when clicking New Note button. Questions?